Finally, I'm here. Hello yogis, namaste. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to lead you through a morning stretch routine to get your day energized and your body open and limber and ready to go to accomplish whatever you need to today. So we will begin in a seated position. Legs crossed any way you want. I like to do a half lotus pose, but you could just do regular crisscross applesauce or just whatever you like. We're going to take this time to center ourselves. Really feel your tailbone pull down to the earth as you pull your belly in. Your shoulders are moving up, back, and down so you can have a long, proud spine. Again, pulling the belly button in towards your spinal cord and up towards your heart. Activating that inner core, that muscle that really leads you throughout the day. It holds you up when you're standing, when you're sitting. It's important to keep it active and flowing and moving. If you haven't already, please take this time to close your eyes. Hands can either come and rest palms facing up on your knees. Maybe you're going into a chin mudra, which is your index finger going into the thumb creases, or maybe you just keep your palms open, accepting and being open to the blessings of this new day, this new morning, or if it's nighttime for you, the nighttime. All time that we have alive is a blessing. So take this time to really observe yourself. What muscles are you holding tense right now? Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your cheeks? Is it in your lips? Maybe the muscles around your eyes? Is it your legs? Are you trying to hold yourself in one position very tightly? If so, please let it go. But keep your sitting muscles active, meaning your core and your lower back. Chin parallel to the floor. We'll take this time to take a deep breath in and out through the mouth. Feel that cleansing, purifying breath in and out through the mouth. Now bring your hands to your heart and we're going to bring them up like you're growing a tree all the way up. Just feel the stretch up your core. Maybe it's stretching your chest out a little bit. Feel the subtle change. Maybe it's in your armpits or the back of your arms. While you're here, try to keep your shoulders down. Even though you're bringing your arms up, you want to try to bring this area down, making room for your ears, so we can listen to our bodies. And now bring that right hand down and you're going to walk the fingertips over. There is no limits. Just keep going until you feel a nice stretch in your side. Open up the chest on that left side. And breathe. Take one more deep breath. And now lower that left hand as you raise the right hand up and over your ears. You stretch the other side. Now you want to try to keep your right sit bones attached to the floor so you could feel a nice stretch on the side. Still pulling that core in. Still pushing those shoulders down, making space for the ears. If you can, try to look over and up. And take one more breath. Now bring the hand all the way back down, uncross the legs, and now we're going to stand up and begin. Oh, you can only see a little bit, well, most of my body. I'm a one-woman crew right now, but maybe one day I'll have a good studio and I can share a better frame with you. But for now, we're just going to work with this. So we will begin here in standing with your feet slightly apart, just about the width of your hips. And we're gonna begin here in mountain pose. This is mountain pose. Oh my gosh, you can only see a little bit of me. Okay, this is mountain pose. So from here, maybe you're switching your weight back and forth. Feel the center of gravity here. If you go to the left, try to keep your right foot rooted. If you go to the right, try to keep your left foot rooted. Shift your weight from the front to the back. See which muscles are engaging. You're gonna raise your arms up, all the way up. Go for a little back bend here. So tilt the head back slightly. And exhale, fold forward. Now you're not pulling or, I'm gonna go to the side. So you're not gonna pull anything, you're not really forcing anything. You're merely just folding forward. If you find that the strain is causing you to furrow your eyebrows or get tense in the jaws, try to soften here. We're softening into the poses, just opening up the body. The one thing that you should prioritize in your forward bends is this area of your lower back. So if you need to, you can bend your knees if you're a little tight in the hamstrings, but you need to keep this lower back straight. Imagine you have a block on your back. Try to keep it straight and holding up the block as you bend forward. A lot of times people will try to keep their legs straight, they'll lock their legs and then bend over. That's not what we want. We want the back to stay long and bring a little bend in the knees if you have to. If you don't touch the floor, that's okay. So we'll just hold here for a little bit. Relax the neck now. And just feel the muscles slowly opening up. On an inhale, you're gonna rise up, bring the arms all the way up. Maybe you cactus the arms, opening up the chest for another back bend. Open up the heart. Now when you're in this back bend, you don't want to push your butt up. Kind of want to scoop it in a little bit. There you go. And now lower the hands. Straight and neutral back. We're going to take that up for one more. Up, maybe back bend, tucking the tailbone in. Cactus arms. And exhale, fold forward, reach forward. Now from here, you can play with your legs a little bit. Maybe you bend your left knee and then your right, opening up the hamstrings. Remember that belly is still pulling in. Feel the breath, that yummy, energizing breath. If you want to hold ragdoll here, you can just keep your arms straight. My hands touch the floor, so I prefer to just hold my elbows. Stay here for one more breath. Now you're going to walk your hands forward just to the front of the mat. And now walk your hands back until you come into a plank with your wrists right underneath your elbows, your shoulders right over your wrists. Make sure you're not poking your tailbone up like this, but try to tuck it in using the strength of your core. And your elbows should not be locked. They should just be slightly bent. Now when you're ready, bend the elbows. Bend, slow, slow, slow. Right here where the elbows are hugging the rib cage is where you should end for your chaturanga. Lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. And open up for cobra. Even here in cobra, in all of your back bends, you should be trying to tuck the tailbone under as if you're trying to scoop the pelvis forward. You can't really see it in this position, but you can feel that motion and that helps protect your lower back. So make sure that you're tightening your tushy cheeks, pushing that pelvis forward when you're going into your back bend. It allows for a more open, long spine. Lower back down, bending the elbows. We're coming into a baby cobra. And then all the way down. Retuck the toes. And you're going to push back up with the power of your arms, chaturanga. And come back into plank. Lower the knees now. And shift your weight back so your tush goes all the way to your heels for a child's pose. Feel that lower back passively opening. If you want a little bit more for your shoulders and your chest, you can come onto your fingertips like a cup and lower down. Your knees are slightly apart but not super wide, just enough for your chest to fit through. Breathe here, take an inhale. And exhale. Now you're going to come back up onto tabletop. We're going to do a couple cat-cows. So on an inhale, you're going to drop your belly button, poke the tailbone up a little bit, and open up the heart just a bit. So you don't want to exaggerate and open up all the way, but just enough where you feel a nice curve in your back. And on an exhale, you're going to suck it in like you're trying to take family photos and pull the spine up. Imagine you're pushing away with your hands and pulling that upper back up also. Your tailbone will be dropping towards your feet. Inhale here. And exhale, going into cat. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Tuck the tailbone under as you're going into your cat. And straighten the legs. We're coming into downward facing dog. Downward dog is a very important foundational posture. So while you're in downward dog, I'm going to look at you guys so you can see me, but make sure you are staying in downward dog, listening to my cues. You're going to try as much as possible to push your heels back, but if your heels don't touch the floor, you don't have very open hamstrings, then you can stay on your toes. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit. Again, we're prioritizing that back. So if you can't touch the floor and you find yourself rounding out, just go ahead and bend your knees here. You want to try to create a straight line from your fingertips, more like your finger knuckles, all the way up to your tailbone. So if that's not possible with straight legs or with feet all the way on the floor, go ahead and bend your knees. It's okay to modify. Here your armpits should be spiraling towards your ears. Again, try to loosen up those shoulders. Try to make space for the ears. And your weight should be extending past the palms, past the heels of your hand, and into the knuckles and fingertips. Pull the belly in and up, and also make sure your rib cage is not poking out, but controlled and in. Try to draw the lower ribs together like you're lacing up a corset. And a tiny micro cue that I like to think about when I'm in downward facing dog is, so you're not going to really move anything, but if your feet are flat on the floor, imagine your legs kind of outwardly rotating. But you're not moving really anything, it's just the femur is going to externally rotate just a bit. You could feel a little bit more activation in the inner thigh here and in the quadricep. Perfect. So now you're going to walk your hands back for another forward fold. Rise all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And bring the feet closer together. You're going to raise the arms all the way up, inhale.